Good morning, everybody. Mike Vacchi, Princetontrader here for Mr. Topstep with your Thursday morning pre-market webcast. Okay, sorry no webcast yesterday. I was feeling a little under the weather and my voice was in no shape to do this. But, you know, we continue to move up off of those 1262 lows. And, you know, basically what happened there is what's been happening consistently with regard to the market. If you just zoom out a little bit and look at the daily chart. I mean, we punched through the lower Bollinger Band, and now we've done about, we've done over 60 handles from there. We made an overnight high. Globex high right now is 1328, and that is not quite 2 handles, 1.83 handles below the 45-day pivot. So we've gone from a situation where Sunday night, when things were looking so horrible, we were 58 handles below the 45-day pivot. Now we are 1 handle below. And I preach mean reversion a lot, and this week is a very good example of mean reversion. And here we are, back to the 45-day pivot, back to the mean. What's important is that in the process of doing that, the market has jumped back over the 200-day exponential moving average, and it's jumped back over the 20-day. So now it has a bullish bent in both longer and shorter term moving average time frames. What the bulls need to do now is they need to get back over 1334 quarter and make that higher high. If they're able to do that, then it opens the door to get back into some of these levels that we saw in the first quarter of 2012. On the other hand, if they make a lower high, say 1328 is it. I'm not saying it is, but just hypothetically. If 1328 is the end of the line, then it sets itself up to either a lower low below 1262 or a higher low, and then we begin to wedge on the daily chart. So that's just kind of the big picture overview of what I'm looking at. But over the 200-day moving average, your focus has to change. You have to think about buying dips, whereas when we were down on the 62s, way underneath that 200-day exponential, and I use the exponential, and a lot of people have been talking about the 200-day simple moving average, and that's fine, but I don't see the 200-day simple moving average acting like support and resistance every other week on the ES daily chart. The exponential moving average does that. You have to go with what works, and the exponential moving average is working like a charm. So let's so focus on that level. We're over that level. Buy dips. Underneath that level, sell rips. Okay? I mean, you buy them to sell them and you sell them to buy them all the time. But you should have a little more confidence in buying that dip. Say we get a dip off the open this morning. I would expect a morning dip. We're up 10 handles and we did 20 handles yesterday. We're basically, you could argue that we are straight up off of 62. I think we really are. So you've got to start thinking about some kind of a pullback here to retest that 200-day exponential moving average. And if that happens and it holds, you've got to be there with a plan and ready to buy. So let's do support and resistance. Current trade is 1326 even. So we backed a couple handles off that 1328 high. So let's do support first. I've got 1323, 1318.79 fib level. Then I've got a cluster. I've got 20-day pivot, 20-day exponential moving average, and 200-day exponential moving average from 1313.83 to 1311.29. So there's your buy zone on a pullback. Below that, you've got 1306.65 fib and a 1305.20 fib. Daily pivot today comes in at 1304.83. And remember, if you want to see the pivots, they're on the front page of the Topstep website, or you can click on my name a little farther down under contributors, and you can see all the pivots. On the upside, 1328, 45-day pivot, 1329.83. Then on the upside, you get into a cluster of fib levels and moving averages. You've got multiple fib levels from 1334 through 1336.75. You've got the 100-day exponential moving average coming in at 1335, and the 50-day coming in at 1337.75. So if we get up into this 34 level, say we do a shallow pullback off the open, jump up into this 34 to 37 level. That's an area where if you're long, you really got to lighten up. I mean, how much do you want out of this market? And if you're thinking about getting short, it's a good place to start. Beyond that, I've got 1343 and 1347. So everybody have a fantastic day. Mike Vacchi, Princeton Trader for Mr. Topstep. I'll be back tomorrow morning with another webcast. Don't forget jobless claims, 8:30 Eastern Time, about a half hour from now, and that should move us a little bit one direction or the other. Take care.